Let's talk about the glorious Royal Rumble pay-per-view.
The Royal Rumble. So, full disclosure, I knew the Royal Rumble started early, but I missed the beginning of it.
Well, the walkers were Cody, Kevin Owens, who looked like he stole a golf cart, Gunther, CM Punk. What's with everybody sipping coffee during the walking thing? Like, why does everybody gotta be all casual and out of character?
I don't know. The walking thing, they try to make him out of character, I guess.
Seth Rollins was also there. He looked queer. Bailey, DEI, and Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns is in his old locker room, sitting in his lazy boy. And Stephanie McMahon opened. She didn't say anything important. There was a hype video, and I skipped it because McAfee did the narration.
Of course.
And then we got to the girls' rumble.
And yeah, I missed the beginning of that too. So when I came in, there's 3 women in the ring already. Being that I missed the beginning of it, I didn't get to do entrant for entrant like I usually do with the Royal Rumble. And also, I didn't do the eliminations. But
Okay.
I will say, WWE had this presentation where at the bottom of the screen, they had like a ticker. And on the ticker, it showed you what number they were on, what number's next, how many people are in the ring.
I did enjoy that.
Yeah. And then also, they had like the little highlights like, oh, this person was eliminated by this person, or this person has 8 eliminations, and here's the 8. So, yes, great visual, great to keep up with everything there.
Also helps when you're fast forwarding.
That too. You can just skip to the end.
Yep.
So, yeah, so some notes from the Royal Rumble. Alexa Bliss came back. She was a surprise entrant, one of the biggest pops of the night. And then there was some funny stuff that happened. So her music goes off. She comes back. If you had been keeping up with the dirt sheets, they said that WWE and Alexa Bliss are nowhere close to a deal. She's
Don't
probably not
expect
going
her
to be
back
on TV
anytime
for.
soon.
Yeah. So they had those reports. Of course, she was back. As she's coming out, I don't know if it was Michael Cole or Pat McAfee, but it doesn't matter. One of them said, I thought she wasn't coming back. The internet said she's not coming back. And then it was McAfee. He said, don't listen to the dirt sheets, Cole. So,
all right.
Some people would say they buried the dirt sheets, which is always funny. And turns out that was a Meltzer report that, they weren't close. Even though Fightful did report it too. And what's the other one? Wrestlemania or something?
I don't know. I do know that a lot of them just basically copy and paste what Dave writes.
Yeah, when you gonna stop listening to Dave?
That's why I have him banned from the channel. We didn't report that, did we? I know offline I've been hoping that that's true, but...
No, we didn't talk about it last week.
Okay.
I try to stay away from that kind of stuff for these moments exactly.
Right.
Like, if I talk about it, it's because either WWE's mentioned it or the person themselves has mentioned it, or I'll clearly say this is rumor mill. So, yeah, Alexa Bliss came back. Jordan Grace was also in the Royal Rumble as a surprise.
She wasn't supposed to be there either.
Okay, so that one of the dirt sheets said she's 100% going to be in the Royal Rumble, and she posted, I'm 100% not going to be in the Royal Rumble because I'm planning my grandma's birthday or something. She posted like a ticket stub showing that she's not going to be in Indianapolis. So clearly that was just to throw the trails off.
She's a dirty line whore, is what she is.
Yes. Oh, another thing that was mentioned is she's officially a WWE superstar. So they announced that in her entrance. Trish Stratus also had a appearance in the Royal Rumble.
Oh boy.
And then we had Jada Parker. So much for her getting canceled.
Did she get booed?
She didn't. So she dodged cancellation, I guess. Yeah, Lash Legend, Stephanie Vaquer, and Julia from NXT. Oh, and Roxanne Perez. I think she was like 1 or 2. So those were your NXT cameos. The first half of the Royal Rumble was kind of slow, to be honest, because you knew none of them were winning.
Right.
I would say it picked up kind of at the Alexa Bliss spot. The crowd came alive there. She was in the 20s. And then at 27, Charlotte Flair comes out with pyro. And when there's pyro in the middle of the Rumble, usually that bodes well for you. So she gets the pyro. She gets the grand entrance. She's walking to the ring as slow as can be, taking it in with the crowd.
A stupid robe.
Yeah, which apparently she had trouble with. And then she ends up winning. Uh, I guess that's the end of that. She won the Royal Rumble. Charlotte Flair. She's going to WrestleMania, probably, as the reports are saying, to pick Tiffany Stratton.
I wouldn't put it past them to have her wrestle Rhea Ripley again. They love doing the reruns.
I was thinking that too. Like, I know you want her to do Tiffany Stratton, but Rhea Ripley, one, they had a good match last time they had the WrestleMania match. Some were saying it was match of the night. And I think it's just a better matchup.
Well, we don't know what Tiffany can do. All she does is just come into the ring and talk shit and stand there.
Yeah, she hasn't really had her moments yet.
She had like a good match when she first got to the main roster.
Yeah. Now, if you look around the interwebs, you have a lot of people who are upset that Charlotte Flair was the winner of choice here.
Who did they want to win?
EO.
No.
Of course. Well, okay, they're not necessarily upset that Charlotte won. They're more upset that the writing seems to be on the wall that Charlotte is about to become a champion, and she hasn't even had a match since her return.
That's true.
That's what people are more so upset at.
It's not a guarantee that she's going to be champion.
That was my thing all along. Like, watch out. Like, I see people, they're already coping. Oh, it'll be good for Tiffany Stratton to lose the title to Charlotte Flair so that she can beat Charlotte Flair and it'll get her over. First of all, she's already over. Second of all, it would also be good if she beats Charlotte Flair. It might be better. It doesn't make sense that you're saying, let's put her on the biggest stage, WrestleMania, to have her lose. And then it'll be better for her to win it back. No.
I don't know. I don't really care because it's not like the girls' title means anything anyway.
There you go. But yeah, I think we're getting swerved, and Tiffany Stratton is going to beat Charlotte Flair.
Okay. You heard it here, folks.
Not swerved, just more so. Everybody's just programmed to think it's Charlotte Flair that automatically means title. But yeah, I just think they're going to swerve us. I have no better word than that, apparently.
Well, in my feed, they showed men warming up for the real Royal Rumble. And then they showed Godfather and Mickie James and Kurt Angle in the crowd. There's also other people in the crowd. I didn't bother writing all that down.
Yes. There was fluff after that. We got Godfather, Mickie James, Kurt Angle. So I wrote down that there's probably going to be an angle with Kurt Angle, if you will, because he was with his daughter, and his daughter was wearing his Olympic gold medals. And they said on commentary that since he's won those gold medals, he has not taken them out of the box. And this is the first time that he's taken them out of the box since then, and he's letting his daughter wear them. Okay, someone's stealing him then. But no, I guess they kind of just did that with the Winged Eagle title, so they can't do it again. But
that's true.
And then we had more fluff, so we're seeing more people.
Rick Steiner, RVD.
Yeah. Sami Zayn was also there.
Oh, Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre. Marcus Freeman was also there, who is the Notre Dame head coach, who was married to a white woman. And the guy from the Green Arrow.
Amel.
Oh, Marcus Freeman's black, too.
I think we can infer that with the mentioning that he's married to a white woman.
Yeah. But next up, we go to our 2 out of 3 falls tag team match. Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. Our first fall goes to DIY. So they did a fake play where Ciampa goes to tag Gargano. Gargano moves his hands at the last second, so they faked the tag. And you had the Motor City Machine Gun. He thought the tag was made, so he tries to go for a finisher on Gargano. Ciampa hits him with a knee, and that gets the first fall. So now, Motor City Machine Guns is down 1-0. Of course, being a 2 out of 3 falls, they obviously pick up the second fall. They hit their, skull and crossbone, I think they call it, which is their actual finisher. And they get the second fall. So now we're tied 1-1 going into the third fall. And this fall was won by DIY. Towards the end of the match, the Street Profits in hoodies, they came out. They attacked Motor City Machine Guns. Ford attacked the one in the ring. Dawkins attacked the one on the apron. No one knew who it was because they had the hoodies on. And then they revealed themselves to be the Street Profits. This led to DIY hitting Meet 'em in the middle for the 1-2-3. After the match, the Street Profits attacked DIY, so it wasn't a team up. How they explained it on commentary is DIY took them out, so they wanted to ensure that they have the title so that they can take it from DIY. So there's that.
All right.
Of course, after that, there was more fluff, more people shown in the crowd. I didn't even write it down. I wasn't bothered.
There you go. Clash
so-
at the Castle is going to be in Paris.
Did they mention that?
Mm-hmm.
I saw the news, but I didn't know they mentioned it.
It's Clash in Paris.
Yes. So original.
Well, I mean,
And
why
they're
change the
gonna
whole
gouge-
pay-per-view name?
Well, because it's in Paris.
Well, they have castles in Paris.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know. But they're going to gouge those people so they can boast about having the highest gate, the largest gate in history.
Well, at least in Paris.
So get ready for that. And then, of course, they're going to cheer.
And of course, it's going to be an awful show.
Maybe. So next up, we have our men's championship match. This is for the Undisputed Championship, which will pit Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens in a ladder match. And turns out this was, at least for me, this was actually a pretty dang good ladder match. I say it was good because they didn't really use the ladder as like a spot. They more so used it to tell the story. I think we talked about it once before, but Undertaker said like if he did a ladder match, he'd have to use it as a story instead of trying to do backflips off of it.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
So yeah, and that's what they did. Kind of similar to Shawn Michaels and Razor. They used the ladder as a story more so than just flying off of it for the sake of flying off of it. AEW. So yeah, the match started off kind of slow, if I'm being honest. It just had their spots where they're using the ladders. They had a mini ladder, like Hornswoggle would have climbed up.
Of course they did.
And they used that as a weapon for a good portion of the match.
There was a nice little moment where Owens had the little tiny ladder. He looked at the ladder. They looked up at the titles. And he looked back at the ladder. And he's like, what the fuck is this even doing here?
Yeah, I didn't even see where it came from. It was just there.
It came from under the ring.
Of course. So yeah, they're going back and forth. Heavy spots. There's like a spot where the ladder is sitting on its side and Cody Rhodes does a back body drop onto Kevin Owens onto the side of the ladder, which always looks like it doesn't feel too good. You got to hit it perfect.
There's a lot of good ladder slams.
Yeah. And then the ending of the whole match. So you imagine there's a ladder sitting in the middle of the ring, obviously the one you would be climbing, and they have a ladder bridge where they have another ladder wedged on that ladder and the ropes. And the two men, they're fighting on the turnbuckle. Kevin Owens gets the better of it and hits a fisherman buster onto the bridged ladder. Cody Rhodes immediately went limp.
He kind of popped up. He was like Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, absolutely limp. The ref is checking on him. Usually when you see the ref checking on them, they'll like say something to let them know they're okay. But at this point, he wasn't even saying anything. And the ref's like pushing him. So he really sold it like it should have been sold.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Owens, he was also obviously hurt from this. So he's laying on the other side.
Yeah, they teased a stoppage.
Yes. So much so. We have the officials. They come out. We have Nick Aldis. He's out there checking on both men. He's over there checking on Kevin Owens. He's yelling, "What is Cody Rhodes saying? Is he saying anything?" So, yeah, they're teasing that the match is going to stop. Sami Zayn, he makes his way out there. He's checking on Kevin Owens.
Oh, no,
Now,
not Sammy.
Yes. Now, here, remember the story now. Kevin Owens has been playing Sami. I know you're going to have my back when the time comes. So now Sami Zayn is out there because Kevin Owens is...
He's willed it.
Yes, he's hurt. So as the refs are still checking on everybody, Kevin Owens, he comes to. He pushes the refs aside. He goes over to Cody Rhodes to continue the match. In this time frame, Cody Rhodes has recovered, and he reverses whatever Kevin Owens was about to do and hits a crossroads. Now, Kevin Owens, the wildly veteran he is, he rolls out of the ring, And Cody Rhodes, he follows him outside the ring.
Kevin grabbed Cody's ankle after the crossroads.
When
The
he went out the
devastating
ring?
crossroads. He rolled out of the ring and grabbed Cody's ankle, preventing him from getting on the ladder.
Oh, yes. So yeah, they fight over to the indestructible announce table. Cody Rhodes, he's gotten the better of Kevin at this point, bounces head off the announce table. So much so that Kevin Owens came up bloodied. So we have blood.
Yeah.
And I should mention at this point that there's a second ladder bridge set up. This one between the apron and the announce table. So the two men, they're fighting on top of the indestructible announce table. Kevin Owens, he teases a package pile driver. He's going to do it through the ladder bridge. If he did, obviously he would be the new champion. But Cody Rhodes, he reverses it. And he gets Kevin Owens up for the Alabama Slam, turns towards that ladder bridge, and he Alabama slams Kevin Owens through the ladder. Looked great. Kevin Owens looked like he was dead. Immediately, we're checking on Kevin Owens again. Sami Zayn, he runs over to check on Kevin Owens. Cody Rhodes, he gets in the ring, climbs the ladder slowly. At this point, there's a beautiful shot of Cody climbing the ladder, Kevin Owens folded in half. Sami Zayn is watching this all happen and is like, okay, Kevin's clearly about to lose this match. If Sami's going to do anything, now's going to be the time.
Mm-hmm.
Sami Zayn stays by Kevin's side. Cody climbs the ladder, retrieves both belts, and he is your champion. Again, I thought it was a great match. One of the better ladder matches, I would say.
I have a couple of things. I guess somehow Cody got his belt back too, because he was wearing it on the way to the ring just to hang it back up again, which made the Saturday night's main event schmaz that they had even more meaningless, because that was the whole thing. You were supposed to relinquish your belt. It makes sense that Kevin would snatch his back. His whole thing was he stole it in the first place. When did Cody get his back?
I don't know.
Like, the choices these motherfuckers make just drive me apeshit. And then, yeah, Sami Zayn came out, did nothing. So why'd he come out?
I think that's the point of the story.
So Kevin's going to get pissed off at Sami? Is that what's going to be?
Yes, for not doing anything. Even though he was there to check on his friend, he didn't stop Cody from retrieving the titles.
And yeah, we had Owens losing 3 in a row.
There's that too.
And leading up to this match, like, Owens was made to look like a jackass. Like, he got super kicked by, a 60-year-old Shawn Michaels. He got his ass beat on SmackDown. I don't think anybody believed that Kevin Owens was going to win the match. So I don't think it helped to make him look as weak as he did coming into it.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, we'll see where it goes next. I have a note here. So WWE announced, which is actually kind of funny. We almost could put it in the story, but WWE announced a new show that I won't be watching called WWE Evolve, which will be airing on Tubi, which is free for those who care. What is WWE Evolve, you may be asking? So basically, now this is what they describe. You know how NXT is developmental? Well, Evolve is the developmental to get people prepared to go to NXT. So it's the NXT before the NXT.
Oh, man. It's the
Why I won't be watching
JVB
it.
team.
Yeah, so if you think about Friday football, you got your varsity team, which is the main roster. You got the JV, which is the people who are going to the main roster. And then you got your JVV, which are people that we can't cut. It's the we're not allowed to cut kids. So, yeah, I won't be watching it. First of all, I'm not going to watch the developmental.
Man, the level of suck.
Yeah, you're watching them learn everything.
Yeah.
You're a real wrestling fan if you're watching it. They'll just I might watch the first episode just to see how bad it is. But on the back of that leads us to the men's Royal Rumble. And we start out with Booyaka Booyaka, Rey Mysterio. He's entered number 1. And then we go into the person who's going to oppose him in the beginning of the Royal Rumble. And it's Cero Miedo Penta. Obviously, right off the bat, you see we have a strong lucha influence. They spent a really long time at the beginning of this match sucking each other off. Because, Rey's a lucha libre legend. So him and Penta, They're sucking each other off.
How so?
They were like shaking hands and talking to each other for a long
Hmm,
time.
I see.
So you can only imagine what they were saying to each other. They were saying positive things because they're shaking hands. Towards the end of it, they shake hands. Penta doesn't let the hand go, and then he tells Ray, "I'm sorry, I have to do this." And then he does his "Zero Miedo" into Ray's face, and then finally we get them squaring off. Next out is Chad Gable. So Chad Gable has a lucha problem, so they're building this story in the beginning of the Rumble. Next out, Carmelo Hayes. Next out, Santos Escobar. So in our first beginning of this Royal Rumble, we have Penta, Rey Mysterio, Carmelo, who's a high flyer, if you will, Santos Escobar. So it's very like lucha influence in the beginning there.
There's also a whole bunch of nobodies.
There's that too. But wait, the next person out, Otis of the Alpha Academy.
Oh, he's gonna win.
Yeah. So all this is built around Chad Gable because you got his lucha problem, which they're really trying to create, and now Otis, which is his former number one guy. Then we get serious. Out comes Braun Breaker, Intercontinental Champion. He comes out next. Next up, we have Ninja Tozawa of the Alpha Academy. Now, Carmelo Hayes, because Breaker came out and obviously did some clearinghouse, he eliminated Carmelo Hayes. And as Ninja Tozawa is walking out, Carmelo Hayes is walking towards the back. And for whatever reason, he attacks Ninja Tozawa. So Ninja Tozawa can't compete in the Royal Rumble. They pick him up and they're taking him to the back. Camera's following him to the back. As we go to the back, Triple H is panicked because Tozawa gets taken out of the Royal Rumble and he says, I need somebody. Well, just so conveniently back there, as we had learned before, was Twitch streamer IShowSpeed. He's standing back there doing his live stream because they said he was going to be able to do a live stream. And Triple H says, hey, I need you in the Royal Rumble. And Speed's like, what? Yeah, I need you out there. So IShowSpeed takes Ninja Tozawa's place. And again, he's the top. Well, he's not the top. He's one of the top streamers. Kai Cenat's probably more popular than him, I would say.
He's not a wrestler.
He's an athlete, though. Anyway,
Athlete how?
well, he's beating people on his streams, like foot races. He did a soccer thing. He's an athlete. I'm not glazing him or anything. I don't watch him, but I see clips. And he's one of the top streamers. That's why he was in it.
He's not a wrestler.
He's not.
These are
But he
supposed
was.
to be the toughest son of a bitches walking the earth. And you have Triple H, the guy running the toughest son of a bitches walking the face of the earth, telling this motherfucking internet streamer to get into the Royal Rumble, where it's a free-for-all with all these motherfuckers that can rip his head off. And Triple H is like, no, you can go ahead. You can fill in one of my guys' spots. To be fair, it was Tozawa, but it's just the principle.
Yeah, you replace one loser with another.
I think it's a detriment to wrestling to make it seem like anybody can do it.
Well,
anybody
can do it.
No, they can't. That's the thing. If anybody can do it, they would be doing it.
And we're just not built as we used to be.
I don't want people looking at like an average person fucking doing shit. I want a super person. I want a fucking like genetic freak. I want a fucking monster. I want a demon. I want a phenom. There's none of that.
Well, he didn't do too much in the Rumble. So there's that.
It's just the principle. Triple H told the guy to get in the fucking Royal Rumble.
I honestly thought it was going to be Tyrese Halliburton, the NBA player. But, can't have him taking bumps. Or, Kurt Angle was there. But no, it was the streamer. And he comes out and he helps Braun Breaker eliminate Otis. So he technically has an elimination in the Royal Rumble. So apparently that jumping thing is his like signature pose thing he does. And then he does a backflip. And then you see in the background Braun Breaker running the ropes. And he breaks IShowSpeed in half with a spear. Then he gorilla presses him and throws him out of the Royal Rumble. To know Otis catches him and then dumps him.
Well, at least he didn't get too much of a moment, but still, I reject him being in it on principle.
Yes. Streamers out. Next up is Sheamus. We got Big Jim Uso, who apparently has a new theme song. I think that may have debuted on SmackDown, but I didn't watch SmackDown.
I must have missed it.
So it starts with the Uso thing, but it's him saying it, and then, yeah, new lyrics. I think new beat too. And then we got Andrade to basically no pop.
Why would he?
I don't know. Maybe because his wife just won the Royal Rumble.
Why would they cheer for him for something his wife did?
I don't know. Man, you know, here she is getting accolade after accolade, and he's over here getting nothing. Like, you'd think she would push for him to do something. Like, does she have no pull, or does she not care? Which one is it? Does she want to be the breadwinner boss bitch?
She probably don't care. It's all about her career.
Yeah, she should be trying to build him up. Triple H's here. Let's get Andrade some titles so he can be the breadwinner of the family, like a real man, and put me in my place. And then I can get into the kitchen. But yeah, we have Andrade. Then out comes Jacob Fatu. Fatu, he gets in there. He eliminates Rey Mysterio, Andrade, Santos, Escobar. So basically all that lucha libre at the beginning. Then we get the Miz. He comes out. And then next up, our first, you could say, surprise entrance, because we're not going to count I Show Speed. TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Joe Hendry. Surprisingly to me, the crowd knew who that was and played along with the song. Now remember, I said Andrade got no pop whatsoever. So that says something, that Joe Hendry is getting such a massive reaction and Andrade is not getting any.
Joe Hendry's got the credentials.
Apparently. I thought it was funny when he came out. So he comes out, the crowd singing his song. He's cleaning house, taking out people. All the while, Sheamus is just like leaning in the corner and he's just watching it all happen. And he's nodding and he's like looking at the crowd and he's getting into it. And then finally, Jacob Fatu puts it into all the fun. He knocks down Joe Henry. He doesn't eliminate him, but he takes him out. And then Sheamus is like, hey, I was enjoying that. So then him and Sheamus are about to throw hands. But before they do, we get another countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the ones go up in the air because next up is Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, he comes out. He also gets pyro in the middle of the Royal Rumble. And he gets out to the ring. He eliminates Sheamus, Joe Hendry. So then we get the stare down between Fatu, Jacob Fatu that is, and Roman Reigns. Michael Cole said on commentary, this is a future WrestleMania match. So there's something to look forward to there. They actually said it out loud on commentary. Yeah, so they go back and forth for a little bit. Then we get our next entrant, who is Drew McIntyre. You know, he has this thing with Roman Reigns, so there's a thing there. Next up, we have Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, Jey Uso, AJ Styles, who is reverted back to his old music.
The DMX sound of music?
Yeah, they don't want none.
Yeah.
They don't want none. Because remember, he changed musics before he got injured? He's back to the they don't want none music.
It's probably
Maybe they just forgot that he changed music. I don't know.
They probably did.
But yeah, AJ Styles comes out. He gets a good reaction since we haven't seen him in forever. And then next up is Braun Strowman, who just a week ago was left a bloody mess by one of the guys currently in the ring that goes by the name of Jacob Fatu. Don't worry, Braun Strowman, he beelines it right to the ring and pretty much effortlessly throws out Jacob Fatu. So,
good deal.
Fatu.
It's a good thing they did that angle.
Yeah, I would say that was pretty effortlessly. But on the positive side for Fatu, he did have a good showing. I think the final number was 5 eliminations. He had a bunch of stare downs. He had the Braun Breaker stare down. He had the Roman Reigns stare down.
Oh, get used to that. He's going to have a stare down with everybody.
Jey Uso stare down. Yeah. I think they were establishing him. He's one of the main event guys. Like, he's one of the top guys. Also, he had a Penta stare down, which, oddly, it got me going a little bit because Penta did the no fear, and it's like, well, this is the one you. I don't know if you want to do that right now. But yeah, and then Strowman came out and just threw him out unceremoniously. But Strowman had to get his lick back, I guess.
Well, then it's like, why am I interested in seeing him and Roman wrestle at WrestleMania? Why would Fatu beat Roman?
Well, he just got thrown over the top.
You just said effortlessly, unceremoniously, by a guy he left laying bloodied, who was walking. He just sauntered out like nothing happened.
He did, but he's a monster.
Did he at least have one of them butterfly bandages on?
No,
like his cheek.
Not even anything.
There you go.
You wouldn't even have told he was a bloody mess a week ago.
And then when he tussled with Priest got the better of him. After he bloodied the monster.
They just got to be careful.
They're not being.
Yeah. It's almost like King Kong Bundy. We saw him the first WrestleMania. He squashed the dude in seconds. Then the next WrestleMania, didn't he lose to Hogan the very next WrestleMania?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened weekly, but
I think he was basically undefeated until he lost to Hogan.
Oh, there you go.
He was basically being built up for Hogan for the next WrestleMania. And I think
Taking
the
out the guy
WrestleMania
in
after that,
seconds.
isn't that when he was with Crocodile Dundee and the midgets?
Yes. Yeah, he had his use at that point. So yeah, we get after Strowman, and I think Strowman got eliminated. I didn't write it down, but I think he got eliminated pretty quick after that.
Of course he did.
Really, he was just his moment was just to eliminate Fatu. Next up, we have John Cena. John Cena, he comes out. After him, CM Punk. Oh, should be noted. So John Cena comes out, and they clear the ring. So we have a moment where they didn't touch each other. I want to point this out here. They didn't touch each other, but they had Roman Reigns and John Cena staring each other down. And before they get physical, CM Punk comes out. He's next. So now we have in the ring CM Punk, John Cena, Roman Reigns, all staring each other down. Before they get physical, and we have now another person coming out. The next person coming out is Seth Rollins. Unfortunately for me, I had internet issues at this point, so Seth Rollins comes out, and by the time I got back to it, they were brawling, and the next person was about to come out. So I didn't see exactly what went down there, but we can just assume that Seth Rollins came out and started their tussle. And this is them really now playing up that this is the greatest Royal Rumble ever, because we got AJ Styles and then CM Punk and John Cena and Roman Reigns all back to back to back. And then we get, I think Dominic Mysterio was after Seth Rollins, and then Damian Priest, LA Knight, and Logan Paul. Again, I had internet problems, so the order maybe switched up a little bit there, but Logan Paul was your 30th entrant. So Dominic, he got eliminated pretty quick. You don't have to worry about him. There was a point where Logan Paul, he almost gets eliminated. He's on the outside of the apron. He's getting kicked off of the apron, and then he jumps to the announce table. So now he's just like over there on the announce table, which will be a brilliant plan because, like, who's going to get to him? You can just sit out there and win. But for some reason, he climbed back onto the barricade, climbed back to the stairs, and got back into the match. During all this, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, they have a stare down, and they finally come to blows. This is Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. The hatred finally gets to both of them. They're fighting. Roman Reigns tries to eliminate Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins tries to eliminate Roman Reigns. From behind, CM Punk comes and eliminates both of them. So now they're outside the ring. Logan Paul, who's now back in the ring, he eliminates CM Punk.
Oh,
so
no.
You got... and Punk kind of didn't even acknowledge it. Because on the outside, now we got Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns all fighting each other. Seth Rollins, he stomps Roman Reigns, and then he's brawling with CM Punk. Roman Reigns, he crawls towards the steel steps, and then gets stomped on the steps. And they continue their brawl, and then the refs finally break it up. Logan Paul gets tossed out, and we are down to John Cena, and then the guy I said that came out a while ago, Jey Uso. So we got Jey Uso and John Cena. They're the final two. They fight out to the apron where they can both be eliminated. They go back and forth for a little bit. Jay does a super kick. John Cena teases a FU. At one point during the FU, Jay Uso he slips back into the ring and he kicks John Cena off of the apron. John Cena's feet touch, and Jay Uso has won the Royal Rumble,
thus ruining WrestleMania.
making it Yeetamania, is what he actually did there.
Mm.
You know, they're going to put that on merchandise. Yeet Mania.
Well, he's either going to challenge Cody and lose, or he's going to challenge Gunther and win. And unfortunately, I think it's going to be the latter.
Oh, he's pretty much already said he's going to challenge Gunther.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, they did their, they
Oh,
had
that's
that
right.
press.
You're right.
Yeah, so he pretty much already said it.
Yay.
But the main event, Jay Uso is going to be the main event of WrestleMania. Jay Uso. Of course, it was a split decision for the crowd. I'm sorry, the IWC. It was a split decision. Some people were upset that it wasn't John Cena. Now, John Cena's already said that he's going to be in the Elimination Chamber.
He said that at his first promo.
Well, he said it again tonight. Apparently, he had a fiery promo and said he's going to enter the Elimination Chamber.
I'm sure Punk is as well.
Yeah, Punk is. There was also a report that came out. Drew McIntyre, who I didn't write the elimination down, but he was eliminated by Damian Priest. Apparently, he was irate after his elimination, and he was yelling backstage that someone had to get all their moves in and stormed out of the building. Now, obviously, this is probably story, but it's worth mentioning because, the dirt sheets who already didn't have a good night is already saying that they don't know if it's storyline or not. Drew McIntyre may have been actually pissed that he was never going to win the Royal Rumble, so I don't even know what they're talking about.
I don't know. So when Jey Uso beats Gunther at WrestleMania, what will he have achieved? Because Gunther is not built up to be anything grand. He barely even wrestles.
What would Jay achieve?
Yeah. Other than just having the spotlight on him.
That's it.
Okay.
Being the face of Netflix, being the new era, having more rappers come out with him, and now he'll have a title to yeet down the entrance ramp with the other rappers.
No bias from me. Can't believe they're going with the cartoon character.
You sound so defeated already. There is a chance that Gunther wins.
There is, but I'm pretty sure he's not. I don't see him walking out of WrestleMania beating Jey Uso. It'd be a third or fourth time.
Especially since they're making such a big deal that he's never beat Gunther.
And they clearly have no interest in doing anything with the best wrestler in the fucking world right now. I mean, you're right. There is a chance that he does beat Jey Uso, but I don't see it happening, unfortunately.
But we can say no Rock at the Royal Rumble. So now maybe that whole thing about him missing WrestleMania was true. I don't know.
But he wasn't at last year's Royal Rumble and he just showed up.
Yeah, it was after the Royal Rumble. So yeah, maybe there's still a chance that he shows up. But I just remembered that report that The Rock wasn't showing up.
Sometimes they can be accurate, as long as it's not from Meltzer.
That's true. But there you have it, the Royal Rumble. Also, there was no AJ Lee, so that was another debunked myth.
I don't know how I'll sleep at night.
Yeah, there's no Becky Lynch, but that is your Royal Rumble.
All right.